The world is standing on the edge of a major conflict. The United States and Iran are not in full-scale war yet, but they are closer than ever. Missiles have been fired, ships have been attacked, and one of the most important oil routes in the world is under threat. What happens next could impact not just the Middle East, but the entire global economy. Right now, the situation between the US and Iran is extremely tense. A fragile ceasefire exists, but it is not fully stable. Both sides are still engaging in limited military actions. US forces have recently intercepted Iranian drones and missiles near the Strait of Hormuz and destroyed several Iranian boats. At the same time, Iran has continued targeting ships and regional positions, showing that the conflict is still active. The US also launched an operation to secure the Strait of Hormuz, but it has been paused to avoid further escalation and allow diplomatic talks. Despite this, military presence remains strong, and both sides are prepared for further conflict. The conflict has already caused serious damage. Iran has reportedly targeted US military bases in the region, damaging infrastructure and causing casualties among soldiers. This shows that Iran is capable of responding effectively, not just defensively but offensively as well. The risk of escalation has increased because both sides have now demonstrated their military strength. The US, on the other hand, claims that its major offensive phase is over, but it continues to monitor and respond to threats in the region. The Strait of Hormuz is the most critical area in this conflict. Around 20% of the world's oil supply passes through this narrow route. Due to rising tensions, shipping activity has been heavily disrupted. Many ships are delayed, rerouted, or avoiding the area entirely due to safety concerns. Any long-term disruption in this route can immediately affect global energy supply, making it one of the most sensitive pressure points in the world right now. The impact of this conflict is already being felt worldwide. Oil prices have surged above $100 per barrel, leading to higher fuel costs globally. This affects transportation, production, and ultimately increases food prices. Inflation is rising again in many countries, forcing central banks to reconsider their economic policies. Some planned interest rate cuts have been delayed due to uncertainty. Global trade is also slowing down. Shipping delays and increased costs are affecting supply chains, which could lead to shortages if the situation continues. The conflict is not limited to just the US and Iran. There is a growing risk that other countries in the Middle East could become involved. Gulf nations are facing increasing security threats, including missile risks and instability. If more countries join, this could turn into a larger regional war. Globally, the situation is being closely watched because any escalation could trigger a wider geopolitical crisis. Despite the tensions, diplomatic efforts are ongoing. The US and Iran are reportedly discussing a temporary agreement. This deal may include limits on Iran's nuclear program in exchange for easing sanctions and improving trade conditions. The goal is to reduce immediate tensions and stabilize the region. However, the agreement is not finalized, and there is still uncertainty about whether both sides will fully commit. There are three possible outcomes. The first is escalation, where the conflict turns into a full-scale war, severely affecting global stability and the economy. The second is a continued standoff, where tensions remain high with occasional clashes but no clear resolution. The third is a temporary peace deal, which could reduce immediate risks but may not solve the deeper issues between the two countries. This situation is more than just a regional conflict. It is directly connected to global energy, trade, and economic stability. The next few decisions made by the US and Iran could shape the future of the world. Right now, everything depends on whether diplomacy succeeds or fails.